Hello, What Culture? It's me, and my name is Simon Miller. And if you are new to this and you've never watched Raw Ups and Downs before, I just want to take a moment. I want to stare down this camera into your soul and say, welcome. I am honored that you have joined me here today. But as I just mentioned in those words just then, this is indeed Ups and Downs for Raw, so you know what we do. We sit down, we watch the program known as Raw, and then we give the good bits an up, and we give the bad bits a down, and some bits baffle us so much we don't know what to do, so instead we just take our fists and clench them and smash them into a wall. That has never happened in their history of Ups and Downs. You always got to believe that new things can happen, otherwise, what is the point? Enough of all this. Let's up those downs. Now this all gets convoluted the more that we get into it, but let's try and keep it within the context as we saw it. But yes, the start of Raw saw Braun Strowman just march his way down to the ring and say how happy he was for all the destruction he caused last week, and everybody loved it. It's getting it up. Then Kurt Angle arrived, however, and he was really frustrated about this because he was like, Braun, we don't solve our problems by trying to kill people backstage, we solve them in the ring. And yeah, that's true on paper, but realistically, that never happens. People are always feuding outside the ring. This was a little stupid, however, I understood what he was getting at, so it was fine. He was so mad though, he then straight up fired Braun Strowman then and there. And as you can imagine, Braun was really mad, the crowd didn't like it, and they booed and even told Kurt Angle that he sucked. And then Angle said, look, these bunch of security guards here, they're going to escort you to the back. You see where this is going. They all got to the arena doors before Strowman decided that he didn't want to leave. So what did he do? He kicked the absolute crap out of these security guards. He was throwing them around like they were darts. And to be honest, it was very entertaining to watch. This is where this particular part of the story ends, and so far so good. But there's more, and we'll get to that later. Because then we had a 10-minute match between the Bar and the Titus Brand. Down. I don't want to be horrible, but given that we did see it last week and I didn't really want to see it again, well, this was here. And I didn't want to see it, and then Apollo Crews and Titus Neil won for the second time. And yeah, I just called him Titus Neil. I'm actually laughing because I've picked up on that as I'm saying it. From now on, Ups and Downs, it's not Titus O'Neil, it's Titus Neil. Either way, why the hell did Titus Neil and Apollo Crews beat the Bar for a second week in a row? There was nothing clean about it this time, as Jason Jordan did show up and he caused a distraction, which means once again Sheamus got quick pinned from nowhere. But that's not the point. That is now 2 losses to the Titus Brand, who before this were absolutely nothing against the former tag team champions. Seth Rollins then got annoyed about all of this because he didn't appreciate what Jason Jordan was doing, so at least that tied into all of that. And you've got to imagine that at the Royal Rumble, surely now the Titus Brand have to be in that match. They beat the #1 contenders twice, so if they're not, none of this makes any sense to anybody. Another quick up is then Braun Strowman busted into Kurt Angle's office, I presume because he wanted to murder him, but Kurt Angle wasn't there, so he murdered the office instead. I mean, that poor chair got absolutely brutalized. All this was fun though, as it was when Strowman went from here into catering and he gave Kurt Hawkins a chokeslam through a table, because of course he did, it's Kurt Hawkins, and then he just saw some dude standing there looking really scared, and the dude was eating some chocolate cake, and it was like, what is Braun gonna do to the dude? And he just ate some cake. I can appreciate that, you know, when you're mad and you're running around, your adrenaline's up and you're burning calories, you want some cake. So he ate some cake. And I'm sorry, but it is a down for all the cruiserweight stuff that came next because it was written like it was a GCSE play. So yeah, down. It was all just there to serve as the build for the Royal Rumble where Enzo will indeed defend his championship against Cedric Alexander. But at one point, Goldust, who is now Alexander's best friend, said, Enzo, if you were a movie star, all your movies would go straight to DVD, or something like that. His basic point was, though, if you were a film, you'd be a straight to DVD film. 1, at least say Blu-ray. 2, that reference is so tired. 3, all of WWE's movies named The Marine go straight to DVD. So you are literally insulting your own product. That is what you've done here. Then Alexander beat Tony Nese in a pretty decent match, but all of this, you could have taken all of this and thrown it out the window, and I wouldn't have missed it. At all. To be honest, halfway through I just mentally checked out. That's what I was like. I mentally checked out of this. I started thinking about deadlifts. More Braun goes crazy action next as Kurt Angle went to his office and he found it all destroyed and he was like, what am I going to do? Then he thought about calling SWAT in. Kurt, I don't think you have to call SWAT in for a big man running around. That is not what they're there for. All this was still good though, so it's it up. As it turned out though, now Strowman was headed to the production truck, and that worried Kurt because he knew that all of that equipment was worth $12 million. Now I don't know how he knew that so specifically, or why he didn't care about the human lives that may be about to end. Didn't care about that. Just cared about those $12 million. Anyway, Strowman yelled at everyone to get out of the production truck and then decided he was gonna tip over a big rig and crush said production truck. Now, I don't know about you, but again, that's a little bit excessive for being fired. I mean, you're basically trying to commit murder here. Get fired, commit murder. Like tennis. Which side wins? Kurt did manage to hold him back for a second with yet more threats that he was going to get swatted. Swat, I mean, for goodness sake, swat. But then Braun was like, no, screw you, Kurt Angle, I'm going to do it. And he did tip over the big rig onto the production truck as the camera changed angle about 42,729 times. It was cool though, it was really cool, and like I said, I damn well enjoyed it, and I just love the cartoony approach that WWE keeps taking where Braun Strowman is involved. He is ridiculous, and because of that, he's brilliant, and right now, he's the highlight of this damn show. We do get our first down in relation to this angle though after this, because then Braun Strowman decided, I'm done with backstage stuff, I'm going back to the ring, and I'm gonna try and beat the crap out of Michael Cole, as you would do. This was too much for Kurt Angle, it was too much, and he ran out there and said, look, I've chatted to Stephanie McMahon on the phone, and not only are you back in the company, but you're also back in the main event at the Royal Rumble. Down. The reason this gets her down is simple. Why did Kurt Angle have to call Stephanie McMahon? Why did we have to have a little bit where we found out that Kurt Angle called Stephanie McMahon? Why couldn't Kurt Angle just feel so scared, and because he couldn't get SWAT, he thinks, you know what, I'm just going to rehire him. You fired him, Kurt. Why couldn't you rehire him? Why did we have to have all this other stuff here? We didn't need this stuff. Look at my arm go. It's probably blurring the camera. That's not good. Anyway, this did appease Strowman, but much like a criminal that realised he could get away with anything, he went and chucked Michael Cole into a bunch of security guards anyway, and he was caught very safely, so there was nothing to worry about there, and it was a cool end to all of this, but yeah. Just that one little blip. Loads of people then did get announced for the 25th anniversary of Raw that is coming next week, and I implore you just to look up the list. If I go through it all here, that will be the entire video. However, I will tell you I was surprised that not only is Eric Bischoff going to be there, Chris Jericho's going to be there too. Up. And that definitely means there ain't no bad blood between WWE and Y2J after the fact he just extended his New Japan run. Proof is right there, and the proof is in the pudding. Amazingly, I'm also going to give what came next up, even though I'm 99% sure I'm in the minority. But Asuka versus Nia Jax, getting it up. Now the match wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but I like the story here, which basically was no matter what Nia Jax did, Asuka had an answer for her, and eventually just chopped her down so much that Nia Jax couldn't stand, so the referee had to cancel the match. You have to call it off, Asuka wins. And sure, there were elements here that could have done better, but I like the narrative. No matter who you put in front of her, this undefeated champion is gonna go and find a way to win. I can support all of that. It's good. Also had some nonsense afterwards with Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax and Enzo, and they just fussed over Nia Jax, whatever. Then the Revival came out and they beat some jobbers in less than 2 minutes with a shatter machine. Damn right. More of this. Up. They cut a decent promo as well, and within that promo even called out the likes of Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's hope this is where the Revival get back on track. We then got a very long segment with The Miz, Elias and The Miztourage and Roman Reigns. Getting it down. If nothing else, it was just so oddly put together, much like I thought it was last week. And after that, loads of people told me I was wrong. Okay, I get it. But opinions, people. Opinions. It started with Elias doing a little song though, saying he was going to topple John Cena at the Royal Rumble, and then inviting The Miz to come out, as he now does. So The Miz came out with his posse and talked about how he was the flavour of the day or whatever when it comes to Raw, and he's the spark that it needs, and that he's going to beat Roman Reigns for the IC title, and it was just good solid Miz stuff. And then this transitioned into a handicap match between Roman Reigns and The Miztourage, which obviously Roman Reigns won, and he won after The Miz had basically pushed Bo Dallas to protect himself, because he was like, oh no, Roman Reigns is coming after me, The Miz, I'm going to use my pretend buddies as cannon fodder. And all of this was just, I just don't think we needed this. I don't think we needed this. It went on for ages, and the culmination was just Roman Reigns beating Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Okay. I ain't giving no ups or no downs to the other women's segment though, because right now we don't know what's going on in real life, and real life is more important than wrestling life. But we had Sonya Deville going against Sasha Banks with their respective friends in the corner, of course, one of which was Paige. Now the rumour all week is that she has been forced into retirement, but that was never mentioned here, and all that was said was that she's not going to be in the Royal Rumble anymore because of injury. So until we know otherwise, until we know the score, I'm not gonna get into this. I'm not gonna get into it. It was just a match. Sonya Deville won. That was fine. It was a pin out of nowhere. but I'm going to wait and see before I start casting my rubbish opinions over everything. So no up, no down, just good thoughts for Paige. Then Matt Hardy defeated Heath Slater, and that is going to get up. I'm still enjoying Woken Matt Hardy, despite the video I put up the other day, which again was just meant to play devil's advocate, and it just went phew, flying over people's heads, but that's okay, because I still love you, and I just enjoy seeing Heath Slater and Rhino back on TV, even if they are just comedy characters. And WWE reconfirmed, like they had done earlier in the day, that Bill Goldberg is going into the Hall of Fame this year. My dad Goldberg. That's wonderful. Well done, Dad. It's enough. And then our main event for the evening was the long-awaited rematch between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And despite a little bit of fuss, it was great. It's getting up. It's one of those matches where there's no point me running down what happened move for move, because you already know this went well, and you already know that these two have great chemistry. If you want to see it, you should just go and see it. By and large, you're going to be quite entertained. There was a very strange moment when the ref counted 3 by accident, but hey, mistakes happen. I'm not going to rag on him. And then Seth Rollins won with the curb stomp. What? I worry this was just a one-off for a big pop, and my word, did it get a big pop. But please, just bring this finisher back. I know there was reasons why they got rid of it, but it's much better than that stupid knee. And look, it's over. It gets Seth Rollins a reaction, and that's what it should be all about. Obviously, this win wasn't completely clean because Sheamus and Cesaro got involved, which means Gallows and Anderson got involved, and Jason Jordan was out there with his antics too. But yes, Rollins won, but again, reality. What was that? Reality. That was madness. But in reality, no one really won. It was just an angle that was perpetuated, not a word, made that up around a good match. But it did a good job in carrying on all of this, and now I want to see how the Balor Club fits into the tag team title program, because naturally, that's what they're done. They're interjected here. Look at my arms, like I'm some kind of robot. That has to lead somewhere. And you know what? That was a good episode of Raw, I thought. All the Braun stuff kind of bookended everything and made it a lot of fun, and while there was some nonsense there. But overall, we're building to next week's 25th anniversary show, which I think is going to be awesome. If it is 5 hours long, 3 hours on TV and 2 hours on the network, apparently. And I think the Royal Rumble has a good chance of being a good pay-per-view. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Twiddle your fingers. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and I don't have anything to say to end this video today. It's just, it's Tuesday. I'm rocking, I'm rolling. Maybe play some Imagine guitar in my head. Imagine guitar, like I'm playing John Lennon's Imagine. Let's just end this video, and remember that you're all lovely people, and you all deserve to win at life.
So, thanks for watching. Please feel free to click on any of these things around my head, or something terrible might happen to the dog. Too sweet me, bro. Traitor. Traitor.